Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 66 to 70 of chapter 2. Nasti buddhirayuktasya,
Nasti buddhirayuktasya,
nachayuktasya bhavana,
nachayuktasya bhavana,
nacha bhavayata shantihi,
nacha bhavayata shantihi,
ashantasya kutah sukham,
ashantasya kutah sukham,
indriyanam hi charatam,
indriyanam hi charatam,
yanmano vidhiyate,
yanmano vidhiyate,
tadasya harati prajñam,
tadasya harati prajñam,
vayurnavamivambhasi,
vayurnavamivambhasi,
tasmadhyasya mahabaho,
tasmadhyasya mahabaho,
nigrihitani sarvashah,
nigrihitani sarvashah,
indriyanindriyarthebhyah,
indriyanindriyarthebhyah,
tasya prajña pratisthita,
tasya prajña pratisthita,
ya nisha sarvabhutanam,
ya nisha sarvabhutanam,
tasyam jagarti sanyami,
tasyam jagarti sanyami,
yasyam jagrati bhutani,
yasyam jagrati bhutani,
sa nisha pashyato muneः,
sa nisha pashyato muneः,
आपूर्यमाणमचल pratishtham,
आपूर्यमाणमचल प्रतिष्ठम्,
samudramapah pravishanti yadvat,
समुद्रमापः प्रविशन्ति यद्वत्,
tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve.
Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve.
Sashanti mapnoti na kamakami.
Sashanti mapnoti na kamakami.
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So last week we were seeing some messages embedded in verse number 67. Now, I gave you the example of the ants which keep running helter-skelter, and to bring them in one line, I said you keep some sugar or sweet, automatically the ants will come online. Similarly, your mind is running helter-skelter today. Now, if you want to focus, you require a goal, a purpose. For a person who fixes the highest purpose of enlightenment as his or her goal, the whole life becomes streamlined. Without a goal, you cannot control your mind, you cannot discipline your mind. You know, someone asked me as to how is it that a yogi is able to sit and meditate for hours together. The answer is this only: because a yogi's purpose is very well established. Rather, he is established in his goal, which is the highest, the infinite. So anytime whether he's sitting or walking or talking or anything he does, the mind does not run on its own. That is the key. The mind is like a tool which has been given to you. It is like a car, let us say. Now you need to sit in the car and you need to drive the car, and the whole process has to be under your control. If the car starts running on its own, then it is very dangerous. If your mind starts running on its own, you will not find any problem immediately. But over a period of time, suddenly you will find your whole life will not be under your control. Especially when a challenge comes, you will not be able to choose a positive reaction, whatever reaction you want. You will not be able to respond in the way you want to respond. So that is why this line, the manaha, the mind which follows the roving senses, is very important. Now, before we go into this verse further, if you study all the verses together, that is, if you take every individual verse and then verses as a group also, you will find that he is using a particular principle, and that is the principle of connection. This point will be very useful for you all. That is why I am mentioning that, because even in this verse he is using the same principle only, the principle of connection. See, for example, if you go to the previous verse, what did he say? One leads to another. If you are not united, if you are an ayukta, then you will not have intellect, buddhi. You will not have bhavana, he said. Like that, if you don't have bhavana, then you will end up finally, that is, without any happiness. You will not have peace. And if you don't have peace, if you are not peaceful, you cannot be happy. So you see that one leads to another. There is a connection. In Sanskrit, we call this as sambandha. Sambandha means connection. Similarly, the previous verses also, we saw how the mind exactly starts moving, how it gets lost. So a person who just casually thinks of the objects, then he develops sangaha, attachment. So this leads to that. And then attachment leads to kama, uncontrolled desire. And then uncontrolled desire leads to various modifications, the negative emotions. Like this we were seeing, and finally it ended with buddhinashaha. The intellect completely goes away, the awareness goes away. And then buddhinashat pranashyati. Once your thinking, your awareness goes away, then he said it is destruction. So you always find that in every verse he uses this principle of connection. And an entire Bhagavad Gita, you will find this. It's not only the Bhagavad Gita. In all the scriptures, if you were to examine it in a deeper way, you will find that these great masters will be using the principle of connection and interconnection. What is this principle of connection? Why are they using that first? The reason is, in the world, life itself flows, functions through this principle of connection and interconnection only. This is a very important principle which you should learn and apply in your life. See, for example, the sun rises, the earth is revolving. Now when the sun rises, the sun rises in the sense that does not move, but when the earth is facing the sun, that part of the earth which faces the sun, this is one step. And then you receive the heat and light. This is the second step, which is conducive for the plants to grow. Like this, one leads to the other. Now what is interesting is, in every area of your life, this principle of connection is at work. This is what they called as the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. The law of karma is based on the principle of connection and interconnection. How one leads to another. So if you take your physical body, it looks like you have different organs, but actually all these organs are interconnected. Within an organ, each organ is made up of many cells. all these cells are again interconnected. Then you take the physical body, the prana, the breathing, again there is a connection. Then you take the mind, there is a body-mind connection. The thoughts, the emotions, they do affect the body in a particular way. A positive emotion affects the cells in a positive way. A negative emotion affects the cells in a negative way. What happens is that a person who understands this principle of connection in everything which he does will be very successful. See, for example, you want to be healthy. Now, unless and until you understand this principle of interconnection, it is not possible to be healthy. See, every emotion which you generate, that is going to have an effect on the health. Supposing you are very much afraid, especially right now it is so much so applicable. During this time of this pandemic, if you allow your mind to become afraid about the virus, now that is one thing. Now that leads to another, which is shallow breathing, the decrease in your immunity power. So many things, one leads to another, and that opens up the space for the virus to come and attack the body. So the moment you understand this connection, then only you will be able to solve the issue. Every action which you do is actually leading to something. Every word which you utter has an effect. See, in this verse also he is connecting. He says the sense objects are there. Now that pulls the senses, then that pulls the sense centers, and then the mind obediently follows, anuvidhiyate, and then that again pulls the intellect. See, you can see the connection. A person who lives in a disconnected way, such a person cannot be successful in whatever he or she does. So when you do your various activities, they all have to be connected and streamlined towards achievement of a particular goal. So what happens is, people fall generally into two extreme categories. One extreme is where a person fails to see any connection between one aspect of life and the other aspect. See, it is not only with respect to one aspect. Like if you take one aspect itself, every action, every word which you speak, every emotion which you have, every thought which you have, they are all interconnected. But even if you take different aspects of your life, they are also connected. For example, you may be in your office and let us say your boss shouts at you and you allow that to affect your mind. Now this is happening in one area of your life, one aspect of your life, which is your office. But then when you come back home, your spouse just greets you normally or asks you normally, would you like to have a cup of tea or something like that. Now all that anger and affectation which you have experienced in another aspect of life, now you will offload on your spouse. You will shout at her. So what happened in one area of your life now has started affecting the next area, because they are all interconnected only. And then she may go and she may shout, her mood will get spoiled. So she may shout at the children. So the children's confidence level may come down. Like this, you see, there is a chain reaction. So within one area of your life, this principle of connection is at work. Within different aspects of your life, that is, if you take your life as a whole, you find that each aspect is connected to another aspect. So if you have an issue in one particular area of your life, that can affect another area of your life which apparently look disconnected. You may ask, what does my the fact that my boss shouted at me in the office, what does that have to do with my child's confidence level going down? Apparently it looks like that. But if you are able to trace out the chain, using the principle of connection, sambandha, then you will know that this is because of that. This is so useful to your sadhak, to a sadhak. Supposing you want to achieve a particular goal. Now, how sincere you are is very important. Now, let us take an area like a relationship. Now, what is your bhavana? That is extremely important. Now, the problem is you don't see the connection between the bhavana, that is the inner feeling, and the external result. So what you try to do is you try to manipulate. You don't change your bhavana, but externally you try to be sweet, merely. You try to talk in a sweet way, but your bhavana is impure. The result will not be positive. The relationship will be strained. Then your logic would be, I only spoke in a very nice way. Why are you reacting like this? You will ask the other person. But if you reflect more deeply, there was something wrong with your bhavana. So you should learn to see the connection. You should connect the right causes with the effects. So on one hand, one extreme, you have people who don't connect things together at all in life. So these are the people who just allow the mind to do whatever it wants. When you harm another person, that does affect some area of your life. You need to see the connection, the law of karma. When you fail to see the connection, when you don't connect at all, then you don't restrain yourself. You harm others, either physically or verbally or even gossiping, behind a person's back. You are harming that person's reputation. So you don't hesitate to do all the wrong things in life because you fail to see the connection between that and the rest of your life. What effect it can have on you and your life, you don't see that connection. So one person has sent a question. He says, I am extremely lazy. Now, unless and until I am pressurized, I don't do something. I have to be put in a corner. Then I will start functioning. Otherwise, I don't put in any effort. So, how to overcome this? This is what he has asked. Now, my request is, first you see the connection between that action of not putting an effort, that is the tendency to not put an effort, and your life. See, if a maximum your intellect can goes, you will only see the direct connection. Oh, if I don't put an effort, I will not get this. It is not merely that. When you don't put an effort, when you are encouraging that tendency, slowly, all the powers of your mind will go away. You will become a highly moody person. That will affect your relationships. Because see, the fact that you have the tendency to shirk your effort means you are not a responsible person. So when you don't have, when you are unwilling to take up responsibility, that will affect relationships. And when it affects relationships, when so many problems occur, that may affect your health. So one will lead to the other. So if you are able to study this and trace this connection in life, then a tremendous change will happen within you. Every action which you do, every moment of your life will become very precious thereafter. I am giving you the application of the principle which he is using in your life. Every moment, this present moment becomes so precious to you because this is going to have an effect on your life. There is a connection. You are listening to this discourse with full bhavana right now. Now this has a very deep connection with all the areas of your life. When you listen with full bhavana, when you receive the energy with a lot of devotion, you may find that some problem which you are having, either it could be health issues or relationship issues or your career issues, you may not be getting a job, something will get solved and some positive thing will happen in your life. So when that happens, immediately you should understand the principle of connection is at work. Every action which we do radiates a particular kind of energy. Every word which we speak radiates a particular kind of energy. So that starts with you, it affects you, it also affects the people around you, it affects the situation, various situations which you're going to face in life, and then that will in turn affect others. The entire world is interconnected. Many scientists say, no, the world is interdependent. It is the same principle only. So why do our yogis say, don't dabble with nature, don't destroy nature? Because there is a connection. If you destroy nature, now that will give problems to the other aspects of the world. Actually, that is the big issue which we are facing today. Humans have, in the greed of acquiring so many things, they have destroyed nature to a very good extent. The many calamities which we are facing today is because of that. So it does not matter whether you're all alone or whether you're with some people. All these things do not matter. When you are all alone and if you are generating a negative thought, through this principle of connection, that will have its effect. Sambandha is a very, very powerful principle which is at work in your life. everything which you're getting in life today is because of some other cause. And for you to understand that, first you need to understand the principle of connection. Whenever something goes wrong with your health, find out in your lifestyle, whether your lifestyle is good. Something must be wrong. Either you must not be drinking enough water, or you must not have slept properly for many weeks. You may not have chewed and eaten your food. You may have eaten food when you're not hungry, or you may have eaten all the wrong type of food, too much of processed food. So you find out, or you may have generated a particular negative emotion. That emotion, first it affects the mind, then it affects the pranas, and then it affects the body, the physical body. So find that out, and when you do your sadhana, that will get released. Once you use the principle of connection and find out, thereafter correction becomes very easy. So I was telling you two extremes, no? On one extreme is a person who does not connect things. So he allows the mind to do whatever it wants to do. These are the people who don't follow their conscience at all. They will go to any extent in life to achieve their desires, to fulfill their desires. They will not mind harming others. They will not mind destroying nature. If you give them a little bit of money, they are prepared to do anything they want, because they don't understand the principle of connection in life, connection and interconnection. On the other extreme, you have people who do connect things, who understand that things are connected, but they connect all the wrong causes to the wrong effects. These are the people who become superstitious in life. When you start out on an errand, a black cat crosses you. Immediately, and let us say something goes wrong in your work, immediately you connect the black cat crossing and the failure in this work. And then you say, whenever the black cat crosses, it's a bad omen. This is a common belief which people have, no? It's a superstitious belief. So you get into superstition, you lose the scientific spirit. In spirituality, the basic scientific spirit should never be lost. So if you find out, you will fall into one of these two extremes. Either you will not connect things in life at all, or you will connect unconnected things, and you will get into a superstitious belief. Like there are people, when they watch a match, let's say they're watching a cricket match, and their favorite batsman comes. Now, it would have happened that in one of the matches, they would have gotten up to get a glass of water. At that time, the batsman would have gotten out. So that gets registered in the mind. They will connect that with the batsman getting out. I have actually seen this happen. And then thereafter, whenever that batsman comes, they will just keep seated in one place only. They will not move here and there, because they are afraid that if they move, the batsman will get out. It looks very funny, but once the mind goes out of your control, then that becomes a reality to you. So you find that you always go to these two extremes. Either you don't connect things at all, or you connect unconnected things and you become superstitious. Now, what he is doing here in all these verses is he is connecting the right things in life. That is the message as a sadhak which you need to absorb through this yogic approach. See, if you take it if you approach this very superficially, what does listening to the Yoga Sankirtan audio material, doing the sadhana there, what does that have to do with your job? What does that have to do with your relationships? If you look at it superficially, you're listening to something. You're just with the eyes closed, you're doing some sadhana. What does that have to do with the other areas of your life? It has everything to do, because it changes the energy pattern. So once you find the connection, then you will know that if you supposing you have an issue in some area in life, you know exactly how to go about it in order to get a solution. You will not stagnate at the superficial level. Neither will you stagnate at the superficial level in terms of not connecting things, nor will you get into superstition and say, my time is bad, that is why this is happening. The planets are unfavorable, that is why this is happening. See, astrology is a beautiful science which our great yogis and rishis have given, but unfortunately it has been totally misunderstood. The planets are not the cause for what is happening in your life. Your karmas are only responsible, your own past actions. The planetary positions are symptoms, Based on that, they find out what the effects of your karmas are going to be. Just as, supposing you want to measure your blood pressure, they use a particular instrument. I think it's a sphygmomanometer or something, right? So they use that. So to measure your blood pressure. Now supposing your pressure is below a certain level, they say you have low pressure. If it goes above a certain level, they say it is high pressure. Now, is the blood pressure, is it caused because of that instrument? That is only a tool by which you are measuring your blood pressure. But the cause for the blood pressure is internal. Similarly, astrology, what these great masters, some of them, they devised it as it is an art and a science. Actually, they calculated various things and they said when these conditions are like this, then it means this person has performed this karma due to which he is going to face this effect. So in order to find out the karmic effects, they use this, that's all. But if you are superstitious, you will connect directly the planets with your life and you will think that, oh, Saturn is in this position, therefore bad things will happen. Oh, this is in this position, that will happen. No. They say, no, Mars, if it is strong in a person's horoscope, that person will be very bold. It is a wrong statement. In Vedic astrology, they have never said that. It is a reverse. When a person is bold, then the Mars may be in a particular position. See, you have to connect the right causes with the right effects. Why I am mentioning this is somebody has sent a mail asking this question. She has gone to an astrologer and the astrologer has given depicted a very negative picture about her life, saying this is not okay, that is not okay, and your life is going to be doomed. That kind of a thing has been told to her. So her mind is so disturbed. This is a direct message to her. Your life is based on your karmas. So do the sadhana, the higher sadhana, and change your karmas. Then your whole life will take a better turn. So in life, it is not important if you just keep mechanically acting or mechanically doing a set of things. You should apply this principle of connection and do the right things in the right order so that you can achieve success. See, one is doing the right things, other is doing them in the right order. Both are important in order to achieve success. So if there is a failure in any area of your life, now use this principle of connection and find out what have I done wrong in order to face this result. If you are financially not okay today, go back, find out, have you put in enough effort to earn? Have you tried to stay stable in a job and grow in that, in your career? The answer is no. That is a connection. The answer is yes. Then find out, have you put in effort all these years to plan your finances so that you balance out between spending and saving? You would have been a spendthrift. So find out which set of actions have led to this result. Then it will make it very easy for you to find a solution. So using that principle of connection, what is he saying in verse number 67? He says, the mind, he starts off with the indriyanam, which is power behind the senses. But the other things are implied. The sense objects are there and the senses run to the sense objects which are driven by the indriyaha, the sense centers. And once that process is not under your control, it is the mind follows the roving senses. Indriyanam hi charatam yat manah anuvidhiyate. And when the mind follows the roving senses, indeed it carries away the wisdom. Harati prajnam. Just as the wind carries away a boat on water. We will see that beautiful example which he is giving. See, whenever a master gives out some example, if you use the yogic approach to penetrate, only then can you get the full message. A master will never say something without any meaning. See, even the casual utterances can transform your life. I remember seeing this movie called Shankarabharanam when I was very young. I think it won some award also. That they depict a great singer. It's a beautiful relationship between a guru and a student, a classical musician. The most interesting part is the student, the lady and the guru never talk with each other verbally, but the relationship is very deep. In that, there is one scene where a little boy is serving the master. That is, master is sleeping and he is pressing the master's feet. Now, as he is pressing, he is singing a song, classical song, Tyagaraja Kirtana. And in between, he forgets that song. What is the next line, the tune, everything he forgets. So he struggles. Now as he is struggling, suddenly the master sings in the correct way and corrects him. And once he does that, the student immediately looks at the master because he becomes afraid. My God, I unnecessarily sang and did I spoil his sleep? To his amazement, he finds that the master is sleeping. But even when he is in deep sleep, every cell of his body is radiating classical music. That's why he was such a great master. In that movie they have portrayed it so beautifully. So even in his sleep, he is correcting the student. So even casual utterances of a master can transform the student's life. So here it looks like a very casual statement, like carries away the wisdom like the wind carries away a boat on water. Oh, you will say, Acha, a boat is going, the wind is carried away. There ends it. You go on with the next verse. It's not like that. It has a very, very deep significance. We will see that now. The word used is nava. Navam iva ambhasi. Ambhasi means water. Nava means boat or ship. We will take boat also. It doesn't make any difference. Now, whenever an example is given, you should immediately draw the parallels first. What is he comparing with what? Because in this example, he has given three aspects. One is the boat, nava. The next is the ambhasi, water. And the third is vayuhu, wind. And just as the wind carries away a boat on water, is as the mind carries away your wisdom. So what does the boat represent here? Your prajna, your wisdom. As I told you, you already have the infinite wisdom within you. Unfortunately, you have lost touch with that. This entire Sthita Prajna is only to get you back in touch with the wisdom which is there within you. See, becoming a Sthita Prajna is not becoming somebody else whom you are not today. You are already a Sthita Prajna, but you are disconnected. You lost touch with that prajna aspect within you. Again, triggering, these are all various triggering factors. Doing the sadhana and getting in touch with the wisdom within you is the process of becoming a Sthita Prajna. It is not becoming, actually it is realizing what you have within you. That's why they use the word self-realization, God-realization. They didn't say self-becoming or God-becoming. God is already there, infinite is already there, but you are not realizing it today. So that prajna aspect, the wisdom, is represented by the boat. Then the ambhasi, the water. What does the water represent? The water represents the various challenges of your life, the flow of your life actually. The water keeps flowing. And sometimes the water goes up, goes down. All these are representative of the various challenges which you face in the flow of life. So you are there in the boat, you the individual. Now you have this prajna aspect within you, and life is flowing. The various ups and downs of life you are facing, all that is represented by the water. Then what does Vayu represent? The wind. The wind represents your mind, the emotions. See, that's what he's saying. The mind which follows the roving senses, which means the mind is not under your control. When your mind is not under your control, that will carry away the wisdom. Similarly, when the emotions are not under your control, that will carry away the boat, that is the wisdom within you, and the boat can topple finally and get drowned in the challenges of life, which is the water, which is represented by the water. See what a beautiful example this is. See why he is giving this example is, it helps you to go deep and understand the concept, and then it also helps you to picturize things within you. The more you picturize, it will be easy for you to visualize and feel the energy and get the energy behind these concepts. See, anything which we visualize, we can absorb easily. Cavemen, they used to communicate only through drawings. See, when you say, I want a house, for example, these are mere words. There is no connection between those words and your mind. Or I want a job, I want a good relationship. When you merely put it in words, you can manipulate it. But I always say, even during the Yoga Sankirtan session, the empowerment session, I told you, after writing the goals, now you need to visualize. When you visualize them, that is when they become a part of you, not when you verbalize them. See, when you verbalize, that is a starting point. But unless and until you visualize, you will not absorb it into your system. So cavemen used to communicate through pictures. After the language was invented, that is when the capacity to visualize has come down. We feel we are all very advanced. Why? Because we are able to, we have gained mastery over various languages. But from a spiritual point of view, I would say the cavemen were more advanced. Because whatever was there in their mind, they were able to feel it, picturize it and express it. Today, if I were to ask you to visualize your goals, you're finding it so difficult. A person told me, I want to be healthy. I said, can you visualize health? Can you visualize yourself being healthy? She asked me how to visualize. What should I visualize? What does it mean? Just merely using the word health, but that has no connection with your soul. I want happiness in life. What exactly is happiness? Are you able to visualize? Are you able to feel that? So these kinds of examples, when they are given, and when you penetrate and get the deeper messages from this, it not only helps you in understanding the points, but it also helps you in mastering this principle of visualization, picturization. That is why I am spending so much of time in this, because it is so useful for it will be so useful in your sadhana, So three things we are having: the boat, which is the wisdom, the water, the flow of life, the challenges of life, the ups and downs, and then you have the wind, which can carry away the boat, and you are the person, the individual who is traveling. So whenever you sit on a boat, and when you start traveling, now you have a destination. I need to go from here, this shore to that shore. And even on that shore, you have a particular point. I want to reach that particular point on that shore. That is why you're going in that boat. Now, when the wind comes and carries away the boat, it can completely take the boat away in a different direction. That is what you need to note. See, this whole thing will make no sense if you have no destination to reach. That is why in the last 2 discourses, I kept on covering that point about the purpose of life. See, he also in verse 66, he ended up with happiness, sukham, shanti, peace and happiness. That sets a direction. That is your purpose in life. And having mentioned your purpose in life, then he is giving you this point. So if you want to understand the deeper messages of this point, if you want to absorb the energy behind what he is giving, then you need to first fix your destination in life. Your ultimate destination, ultimate purpose is self-realization, enlightenment, and then relative goals, relative destinations. See, if you want to go from here to one place, you will always have other small places, which you keep as a landmark. First I will reach here, then from there I will go there. That is how you progress. It's the same thing in spirituality also. So for a person who has fixed a goal and a path, for such a person, when he is traveling in the path, the wind of emotions can come, and if he is not careful, it can completely carry away the boat. So again I am telling you, for a person who has no destination to reach, this verse is not applicable at all. And I am assuming that the fact that you are coming and watching this week after week means you have a goal in life. Some goal. It may be that I want to transform myself. I want to make my life more happy. You may even have a particular problem in your life and you say, I want a solution for the problem. It's okay. That may be a relative goal, but it's still fine. I'm having financial difficulty, so I want to become rich. It's good for a start. See, it does not matter what your goal is. The important thing is you should have some goal. And unless you have a goal, you will not have the inspiration to do your sadhana on a daily basis. Somebody has to keep reminding you, do your yoga sankirtan sadhana, do your yoga sankirtan sadhana. Once you fix your goal, nobody needs to remind you, you yourself will do it. So even if the goal is worldly, it is okay, it is still spiritual only, as long as it's making you do the sadhana. And then through the sadhana, you will learn to fix higher and higher goals in life. So, the most interesting part is when I said the water represents the flow of life, the boat is constantly tossed about by the water. So your journey in life will never be smooth. See, this is another misunderstanding. People think that if I do sadhana, now no problems will come in my life. My life will go like, in a steady way, one same way. That is a very boring life. If there are no ups and downs in life, won't your life become very boring? That is not possible practically. See, will the water just be flowing in the same way, at the same level? It is not possible. There will be the ups and downs. So, this sadhana, this wisdom actually helps you to go through those ups and downs without getting toppled over and still reach your destination. Like a classic example is one sadhak has sent a mail. This was 2-3 weeks back. She has shared her experience. She tested COVID positive. And what she said is, when she is a doctor, so they have to go through the testing periodically. Suddenly, in one of the tests, she found that she was positive. And everybody panicked around her. But she said, with the grace of God, with the grace of the Guru Shakti, and all the sadhana which I have done, I observed my own mind and my mind didn't panic at all. I just said, okay, let me go into solitude. She didn't use the word quarantine. She said, let me go into solitude for 14 days. And she continued the online consultations a few hours every day, because nowadays, thanks to the internet, it has made communication so easy. And not only that, she says she utilized that 14-day period to strengthen herself. She did the Yoga Sankirtan Sadhana in the morning. And I had mentioned during the Kaya Tattva program that those who have attended that, who have got those Kaya Tattva meditation material, whenever you fall sick or something, when the body falls sick, you can always do Yoga Sankirtan in the morning and one Kaya Tattva meditation in the evening. That will help in getting healed faster. So she did that. And not only that, she says, I also watched the 10-day healing program, which we did last year, that is available, the healing course. It is available on YouTube. So she said, I watched that also. Within 2 days, she was absolutely normal. But the protocol is, she had to go through the 14-day period where she is by herself. And by the end of 14 days, every day she was getting calls from her relatives and so-called well-wishers, friends, and asking her in a very frantic way, what happened? Are you okay? And she was counseling them. Everything is fine. Don't worry. Beautifully she has explained, she has reported this, And after 14 days, she says, when I came out, it was like a new world, because I had done so much of sadhana. I had also kept in touch with my work, but I had strengthened myself. This is a word she has used. So I came out as a more strong person, and now I'm continuing my work. And all her colleagues, other doctors and everybody was asking her, how come you were not disturbed at all? Actually, one of her friends, she had observed that before you went into your quarantine, you looked okay, but after the quarantine period, there is a glow in your face. How is that? So she just smiled. She is going to introduce this to all her friends, Now, the challenge was there, but now the question is how she faced those challenges. So similarly, in your life also, there will always be challenges. Without water, the boat loses its significance. Please understand this. So without the flow of life, without challenges, your life itself has no meaning. These challenges are meant to make you more strong. It will make you more strong if you awaken this prajna aspect, this wisdom aspect within you. And once you do that, you will use the same challenges of life to reach your destination. So don't think that if I do now sadhana, the whole world, it will become a problem-free life for me. No. It will give you that inner strength to convert all the problems and challenges into opportunities. From every challenge, you will become more strong. You will learn something. That is the very principle of spirituality. So Ambasi is a very important aspect. So if you know how to navigate the boat or the ship through the waters, it will reach the destination. So even when you are going up and down, steadily you need to move in your path. That is Sthita Prajna. The whole theme is Sthita Prajna, being steady in the wisdom. Life is going to take you here today, it will take you to some other place tomorrow. Suddenly unexpected things will come. That is the beauty of life. The question is, do you have the strength to steadily move towards your destination? I told you, no, let this pandemic be there, let all these things be there. Don't allow them to disturb your mind. Do your sadhana, fix your goals in life. Put your blinkers on and keep doing your sadhana. Double up your efforts, triple your efforts if things are going wrong outside, and you will find that you will be able to achieve your goals. Many sadhaks have shared their experiences during last 1.5 years, during the COVID time. And they have said so many positive things have happened. Why? Because they followed this principle. Your life is in your hands. See, when the boat is not under your control, then you will succumb to the challenges of life. So it all depends on you. So when you are moving towards your destination, he is giving a warning signal, a red signal, There is one danger. It's not only the water, but if the wind is very strong and it is not under the control, then that can carry away the boat from the chosen path. It may prevent you from moving towards your destination. I told you, last week, Harati means carrying away on one hand. It also means destruction, destroying. So not only can the wind carry the boat away from its chosen path, it can also make the boat topple. That is the second dimension of Harati. After seeing this, after eking out all the messages from this, then finally we will again see the whole thing at a glance, the Harati, the Anuvidhi, everything has its significance. I will give you I will explain to you the connection from different dimensions, which will be amazing. That will help you so much, in your sadhana. So this is a red signal. It's like, in any destination, in any travel, they always say, this is a danger area, be careful. It's like that. Remember that the wind, it's not only merely the water, the wind can take you away from your chosen path, and it can also topple the boat. So your emotions are very, very powerful. Emotions actually, once you have mastery over your emotions, they become a source of immense strength within you. But when the same emotions are not under you, are not under your control, then instead of helping you, they can pull you away from your chosen goal. Now there was a great poet called, his name was a great artist. His name was Andrea Del Sarto. Now he fell in love with a lady, and that lady's intentions was not good. She used him, and he used to paint and sell a few things and give her money, and she was giving that money to another boyfriend whom she was dating, and he knew that, but still his attachment was so much, his emotions were not under his control, that his entire life got wasted because of that. Other painters like Raphael and all of them rated Andrea Del Sarto to be the best in terms of talent, but all his talents went to waste. Why? Because his emotions, his so-called love towards a lady was not under his control. His mind was not with him. There is a poem, called Andrea Del Sarto. It's a long poem where the poet is depicted how Andrea Del Sarto goes through these emotions. A great artist reduced to nothing because the mind was not under his control. So one emotion is enough, just one gush of wind is enough to take away the boat or to topple it. Similarly, one emotion like anger or fear or jealousy, it could be anything. One negative emotion is enough to completely take you away from the path. That is why, even during the 22-day health empowerment course which we had, I kept telling you, be very careful about the inputs which you take. Because if you're constantly seeing the news channels 24 hours a day or whenever you're awake, and from one channel to another channel, and your mind gets attracted to, gets drawn towards all the negative things which are happening. Now that can trigger so many negative emotions within you, which can completely topple your life. Remember, your life is in your hands. You are the creator of your destiny. You are creating your life through your own thoughts, emotions and actions. So, this is the example. So from this, as a sadhana message, we can get 4 important points. There are many points. Out of that, I am taking 4 crucial points which will definitely help you in your sadhana. In order to achieve your goal, this is only for people who fix their goals. If you don't have a destination, these 4 points mean nothing. What is the first thing which is required to achieve your destination? It is, say you sit on the boat and then you start rowing. You keep on rowing the boat. Sometimes when you're going downstream, you need not row so much, you can relax. But when you're going upstream, you need to row more. So rowing represents your effort, hard work, which you're willing to put in. So once you fix your destination, the first thing which is required is effort from you. Without effort, don't ever dream of achieving something. Any achiever, any successful person would have put in a lot of effort. Number 1. Number 2, it is not merely rowing. You have to row in the right direction. All the effort you put in, but it's in the wrong direction, then that becomes useless. So the direction is set by the goal. So if you should fix a goal which inspires you. If enlightenment does not, if you're not able to relate to the ultimate goal of enlightenment straight away, keep a relative goal as self-purification, self-development. I'll become a more strong person. Something, which you're able to relate to. Then it will set a direction for you and you will be able to channelize all your efforts in that direction. Number 3, the ups and downs of water are going to be there, the life flow. So the challenges of life are always going to be there. So you need the ability to face those challenges, the strength to face those ups and downs of life. That is the third quality which is necessary. And then the fourth is the wind. Your emotional distractions, your negative emotions within you, which are not under your control, which can carry you away from your chosen path. So the ability to withstand the emotional disturbances within you. These are the 4 important qualities for you to achieve your goal in life. If you have these 4, you can achieve anything which you want. Now, what gives you these 4 things? It is the right application of this wisdom, the higher wisdom. So every Sunday, so much time is being spent to expose yourself to the deeper aspects of this wisdom through the yogic approach. Why? Because once your prajna aspect in you starts getting strengthened, then you will be able to practice all these 4. Number 1, rowing. That is the effort which you put in life. You will be willing to put an effort. Many people, they have high goals in life, but they are unwilling to put in that extra effort. The yogic principle is always give more than what you take. See, you cannot avoid taking. For sustenance, you may have to. But ensure that your giving is always more than what you're taking. Means, if your salary is, let us say, 1 lakh per month, now put in a work for 1.5 lakhs is this. I'm just arbitrarily giving an example like 1.5 and all that. So this is the yogic principle. Actually, the yogic principle, if I tell you, you will find it very difficult to follow. The practical sadhana at the basic level itself, what they say is, a yogi should never take anything for free. He should always give 4 times more than what he receives. That's what we yogis follow. Always giving the healing in some form you need to give, you need to contribute, you need to return. Get out of this free mentality. Minimum effort, maximum gains I want. So when will you be able to get out of that? When your wisdom in you is strengthened. Never look for something free. This word free is not for sadhaks. You should create your life. Don't expect somebody to come and do things for you. So that willingness to put an effort, number 1. Number 2, the right direction. Effort means not, some people are so busy but they are not effective. This is a very deep management principle. Just be, in a hyper way you're doing actions. No, you have to channelize all your efforts in the right direction. That is where the goal helps you. So this wisdom helps you to clarify your goals. And then number 3, this wisdom gives you the ability to face the challenges of life, the ups and downs of life. It helps you to go through the ups and downs of life in a smooth way. Sometimes there is a birth in your family. Sometimes there is a death. There is an up, there is a down. So when it is up, you go through it smoothly. When it is a down, again, you go through it smoothly and you come up. And then this wisdom also gives you the ability to withstand your inner emotional disturbances. See, the water represents the external challenges, the wind represents the internal challenges, which is your own negative emotions. So with this wisdom, you will ensure that you don't take in inputs which will cause negative emotions like fear, anxiety. See, today that is a big problem during this pandemic time. 24 hours, many people are thinking only about the virus and they are afraid about it. As you think, so will be your life. Instead, study about your immune system. See how strong your immune system is. More than 97% of the people have recovered from the virus. It means their immune system was able to fight the virus. Get those facts into your system. Then your immune system will go on improving. See, you should apply this wisdom in the right way so that you increase these powers within you, the ability to withstand the inner challenges. Okay, so the mind which follows the roving senses indeed carries away the wisdom like the wind carries away a boat on water. What an amazing example this is. So reflect on these points, grapple them to your soul, as Shakespeare says. These are life transforming principles. Week after week, the entire wisdom is being given. It is up to you to start absorbing them and practicing them. Just take up one or two which inspire you and you start practicing them. Don't worry that there are so many points and all that. Okay, so we'll stop with this today. We'll be doing the meditation, Vidhyasana, where again withdrawing from your senses to the mind, and today I'll make you visualize a little bit. Once you withdraw your consciousness, then look at your whole life like water, ups and downs, and then you go within and get established in the prajna. So as the higher Shakti is being invoked, the prajna aspect within you will also be invoked. Thereafter, you will find it easy to practice these things, and depending upon your sincerity, your prajna will further get strengthened. It all depends on you only. Okay? So sit in a comfortable posture. Comfortable means your spine should be erect. Unless you're really sick or something, some problem you're having, you can lie down and do. But comfortable doesn't mean you can't say, I'm comfortable like this, sir. Some people do all those things. No. Asana means sthira sukham asana, said Patanjali. That is, it should be sukham, very comfortable. Sthira also. Sthira means straight, the steady. So keep your spinal cord straight in a relaxed way. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. As I'm breathing deeply, my entire system is getting into a state of total relaxation. I am the individual soul, the Jivatma. I have come into this world to experience the best and ultimately get connected with the infinite. My entire life is there in front of me, like the flowing waters. The various ups and downs of life, I view them objectively. I view the various emotions present in my mind objectively. Deep, deep within me is the Prajna Shakti, the power of wisdom, the power of awareness. I awaken the Prajna within me. From this moment onwards, I choose to put in the right efforts to achieve anything in life. I choose to streamline and direct all my efforts towards the goal which I have chosen. I have the ability, the strength to face any external challenge thrown by the world. I have the ability, the strength to withstand the force of my emotions. I am completely established and balanced in my wisdom. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So it was a very deep session. In today's meditation, I had increased your objectivity, the capacity to stand back, withdraw, and view things, So you have external challenges, you have internal challenges. It is this wisdom which will help you be balanced. I have received many questions regarding how to face this pandemic. Last year also I received many questions, this year also. The second wave is there and they are expecting a third wave. So how do we prepare ourselves and all that? Remember this principle. It is only by increasing your positivity that you can face any challenge in life. Your positive energy has to be increased. This wisdom does that. So last year I had conducted this 10-day healing course, which is there. So all of of you can see it any number of times you want. Every time you watch it and do those meditations, that is going to build the inner strength and positivity, positive energy. And as a seva to humanity, as service to humanity, spread that positivity to everybody. Send those links to as many people as possible, to people who are afflicted, who have, with the COVID, they may be in quarantine and all that. So send them that link to that course, let them watch it every day, because that will strengthen their minds from within. It will increase the vibrations. Whatever external treatment they are taking, that is one thing. But when they go through that course and when they do the sadhana, they will come out as very powerful individuals. It's not only for people who have tested positive, for everyone, So not only you should start radiating positive energy, but you should also spread it to everyone. That is the way. Okay. So we'll conclude today. Think about all these points which were given to you. Do your sadhana. I'll see you next week. We'll go into more depth. The coming verses are very powerful as usual. Every verse I pick up, I say this is a powerful verse, this is a powerful verse. Okay? So we'll meet next week. Thank you very much. Hari Om.